Hello students, welcome to AIMS India online classes. This is the chemistry session. Here we are discussing about the chapter metals and non-metals. In this session, we are going to see a practice sheet based upon this chapter metals and non-metals. Okay, this practice sheet may contain the questions, different kinds of questions like single correct answer type questions, multi correct answer type questions, combination paragraph, matrix matching type, assessment revision questions, and even analytical approach questions also they may be in the practice sheet. Okay, let us see one by one. First, let us go through the single correct answer type questions. Here, an objective question will be given. Out of 4 options, there will be one correct answer. So, read the question and answers carefully and try to answer them. So, the first one, which one of the following is a metal? See, out of these 4, which is a metal? Carbon, nitrogen, sodium, oxygen. Which is a metal among these? Yes? Yeah. Sodium is a metal, whereas carbon, nitrogen, oxygen are non-metals. Sodium is a metal among these all. Next question, which one of the following is a non-metal? Yes, identify the non-metal here now. Of course, if you see here this question, you can answer this. Zinc is a metal. Aluminum is also a metal. Even iron also a metal. Whereas nitrogen, N, is a non-metal. Remaining 3 are metals. Next one, which one of the following is a good conductor of electricity? See the given compounds, substances, out of these, which one is a good conductor of electricity? Generally, metals are good conductors of heat and electricity. Identify the metal among these. See here, iron, plastic, wood and glass. Which is a metal among these? Iron. Iron is a metal and it is a good conductor of heat and electricity. Whereas the remaining 3 are plastic, wood and glass are poor conductors of electricity. Next question. The property of metal by which it can be drawn into thin wires is called. Yes, what is the property called? The property by which a metal can be drawn into thin wires. The property is called ductility. Ductile property. Because of this ductile property, metals can be drawn into thin wires. What is conductivity? The passage of electricity or heat through them. And the malleability? The property by which a metal can be beaten into thin sheets. Okay, ductility means the property by which a metal can be drawn into thin wires. Next one, the metals that produce ringing sounds are said to be. Yes, what are they called? The metals which can produce a ringing sound are called sonorous materials. Not only metals, whatever the substance, if it is able to produce sound on beating, that is called sonorous material. Metals are sonorous. They produce sound when we hit an object. Those sonorous. The sound producing property is called sonorous property. Next, the solution of ash of magnesium ribbon is. We are asking what is the nature of magnesium ribbon ash. That means when magnesium ribbon is burned in the presence of air, it produces a white ash. When this white ash is dissolved into water, it forms a solution. Now, what will be the nature of this solution? Either acidic or basic or neutral. What kind of nature it is having? What is here magnesium first? Magnesium is a metal. So, magnesium on burning in oxygen, it forms an oxide in the form of ash, which we call as magnesium oxide. This magnesium oxide, on dissolving into water, it forms magnesium hydroxide. this magnesium oxide and magnesium hydroxide, these two, they can turn red litmus paper blue. So we can say this magnesium oxide and magnesium hydroxide, these two are basic in nature. Not only these, generally metal oxides and metal hydroxides, both are basic in nature. Metals on reaction with oxygen form metal oxides. These metal oxides on dissolving into water form metal hydroxides. These metal oxides and metal hydroxides both are basic in nature. So the ash of magnesium ribbon forms a solution which is basic in nature. Next, what is the chemical formula of sulfurous acid? A sulfur can form two acids, sulfuric acid and sulfurous acid. The formula of sulfuric acid is H2SO4, whereas the formula of sulfurous acid is H2SO3. Okay, if you say us, there will be one oxygen less. Sulfurous acid, H2SO3. Next, the sulfuric acid turns blue litmus paper into dash. Sulfuric acid turns blue litmus paper red because acids turn blue litmus red. They turn into red color. Next, oxides of non-metals are dash in nature. What is the nature of non-metallic oxides? Non-metals on burning the presence of oxygen, they form respective non-metallic oxides. These non-metallic oxides are acidic in nature in general. Most of the non-metallic oxides are acidic in nature. For example, if you say sulfur, nitrogen, phosphorus, carbon, these are non-metals. These, on reacting with oxygen, they form their respective non-metallic oxides like sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, phosphorus pentoxide, carbon dioxide. These all come under non-metallic oxides. These non-metallic oxides are acidic in nature. Next, sodium metal is stored in. Where this sodium is stored? Why to store it? Actually, sodium is one of the highly reactive metal. If it is kept outside, it starts reacting with atmospheric oxygen. So it should be always stored under certain liquids. But it reacts even with water also, even cold water also. That is why sodium and some other highly reactive metals like sodium, example sodium, potassium, lithium and cesium, these metals are stored under kerosene because they won't react with the kerosene, so they will be safe enough. They should not be kept outside. If sodium or any other highly reactive metal, if it is kept outside, that starts burning on reaction with atmospheric air. So they should be always stored under kerosene. Whenever it is needed, a small piece is taken out and it is used for experimentation. But the remaining sodium will be stored again under kerosene. Kerosene. Sodium is stored under kerosene. Next, which non-metal catches fire if it is exposed to air? See here, which non-metal? They are asking which non-metal catches fire if it is exposed to air. See, which is non-metal first of all? This is sodium is a metal. Of course, sodium also catches fire if it is exposed to air. Just now we have discussed here. Sodium is a highly reactive metal. When it is exposed to air, it catches fire easily. Even calcium is also a metal. Uranium is also a metal. Now, phosphorus is the only non-metal here which catches fire on exposing to air. It catches fire. It is also one of the more reactive elements. That is why phosphorus is always stored under water. Because if it is kept outside, it reacts with the atmospheric air and starts burning. So, phosphorus is stored under water. Phosphorus is a non-metal which catches fire. No, it is not sodium because they are asking about non-metal. Phosphorus is the non-metal which can catch fire on exposed into air. Next, common brass is an alloy of. Yes, brass is an alloy. What does it mean here, alloy? Alloy means the mixture of two or more metals. Generally, one or more metals are mixed to get good qualities of those metals. So here, brass is also one of the alloys such like that. So brass is made by mixing the metal copper with zinc. The mixture of copper and zinc is the alloy brass. Next, which one of the following is applied on wounds as an antiseptic? Yes, these antiseptic ointments are made with one of the non-metals, that is sulfur. So sulfur being a non-metal, it is used in ointments preparation. So it is a non-metal. Next, which one of the following is a good conductor of electricity? So generally, which are good conductors? Generally, metals are good conductors of electricity. See, out of this, which is metal? Yes, iron rod. Iron is a good conductor of electricity as it is being metal, whereas the remaining are poor conductors of electricity. Next, which one of the following metal is used in thermometers? Yes, we know one of the metals used in making of thermometers, that is mercury. Mercury is one of the a liquid nonmetal. Mercury is a liquid nonmetal. It is used in thermometers. Next, hydrogen gas is produced when metals react with. Yes, when hydrogen gas is produced. Hydrogen gas is produced when metals react with dilute acids. For example, if you see hydrogen chloride acid, hydrochloric acid or hydrogen chloride, dilute hydrogen chloride acid on reaction with a metal, if you say example zinc. So metal zinc on reaction with dilute hydrochloric acid, it produces metal salt which is called zinc chloride, and the gas released will be hydrogen gas. So hydrogen gas is released by the metals when they react with acids. Okay, next. Heat conduction is the property of which can conduct heat? Non-metals, metals, metalloids. Which can conduct electricity? Generally, metals conduct electricity. Metals are the good conductors of electricity. So the property of conduction is belonging to metals. Next, the non-metal that can conduct electricity. Actually, we are telling metals are good conductors of electricity. Generally, metals are good conductors. But there is one non-metal which can conduct electricity. What is that non-metal? See here, graphite. Carbon in the form of graphite is a good conductor of electricity. Whereas generally non-metals are poor conductors of electricity. Only one exception is here, graphite. Graphite is a good conductor of electricity even though it is made up of non-metal, carbon. Next, metals react with mineral acids to form. Yes, we have seen this just now. Metals react with mineral acids to form. What do they form? Metals on reaction with acids, they form salt and hydrogen. We have seen an example now. Hydrochloric acid on reaction with zinc, it forms zinc chloride salt and hydrogen gas. Okay. Next, aluminium is good conductor of heat, so it is used in, as aluminium is being good conductor of electricity, where is where it is used we are asking. Say duralumin. Duralumin is one of the alloy of aluminium. So aluminium is used in making of duralumin. That is correct. But here, because of its good conducting nature, where it is used, it is not the reason for using in making of duralumin. It is used in making of duralumin, but it is not the correct reason. So, because of its good conduction, aluminium is used in making of electrical wires. Not in this not. In electrical wire making, they use aluminium because aluminium is good conductor of electricity and heat. Next, sulfur is used in vulcanization of. Yes, vulcanization is one of the process which they use for making the rubber harder. The rubber used for making these tires, which will be very hard. So to make rubber very hard, they will undergo certain process called vulcanization. In that process, they will melt this rubber by mixing sulfur to that. This sulfur gives much strength to the rubber. That process is called vulcanization. So in the vulcanization process, sulfur is mixed with rubber to make it harder. Okay, next one. Multi-correct answer type questions. In this, out of 4 options, one or more than one correct answers will be there. So read the question and answers carefully. Try to answer them properly. Which one of the following is or very reactive metals? Say, which are more reactive metals among these? See the options: sodium, potassium, carbon, phosphorus. Which are very reactive metals? First of all, if you see carbon and phosphorus, carbon is a non-metal, even phosphorus is also a non-metal. So the remaining two, if you observe, sodium and potassium, both are highly reactive metals. Both will come under highly reactive metals. Next, which one of the following can be drawn into wires? Which can be drawn into wires? That property is called ductility. Generally, metals are having this property of ductility. Metals can be drawn into wires. So, which are metals among these? Iron is a metal, copper is also a metal, even aluminium too, a metal. But coal, which is a non-metal, this cannot be drawn into wires, which is amorphous solid. So, remaining 3 are metals and can be drawn into wires. Next, which of the following cannot be beaten into sheets? What is the property called beating into sheets? The property by which metals can be beaten into sheets is called malleability. This malleability is also one of the properties of metals only. So identify the metals among these. Mercury is a metal, aluminum is a metal, iron is a metal. So sulfur is being a non-metal, it cannot be beaten into sheets. So these 3 are metals. But if you observe once the mercury is a liquid metal. So as it is being liquid, it also cannot be drawn into sheets even though it is a metal. So remaining 2, iron and aluminium are the metals which can be beaten into sheets. So which cannot be beaten into sheets means mercury and sulfur. These 2 cannot be beaten into sheets. Okay, next. Comparison passage. See the passage once. Among the total elements discovered, approximately 80% of them are metals. Most of the metals are hard solids. Now let us see questions related to this passage. Dash metal can be cut with a knife. Yes, there are some metals. Out of these metals, some are mostly all the metals are hard solids. But only one liquid metal is there, that is mercury. But there are some more metals which are solids but not much harder. They will be soft. Even they can be cut with a knife also. So, which of these metals is that kind? See here, magnesium, iron, zinc and potassium. Out of this, potassium is one of the soft metals which can be cut with a knife. Okay, sodium, potassium, rubidium. These metals are soft metals. They can be cut with a knife also. Next, dash is a soft metal. Say, try to identify the proper matching here. Metal, one metal is soft metal, and mercury metal is given. Its nature we have to find out. See here, which is a soft metal? Actually, sodium is a soft metal. So we can write here sodium. What kind of metal is this mercury now? So here copper is not soft metal. This option is not coming. Steel is also not soft metal. So in these two you have to observe. What kind of metal is mercury? Is it a hard metal or liquid metal? It is liquid metal. Now we get it as sodium soft metal, mercury liquid metal. Next, one more analogy is given. Try to give proper matching. Ductility. Ductility means drawn into wires. Then which is called drawn into sheets? It is malleability. Malleability is called drawing into sheets. The property by which metals can be drawn into wires is called ductile property. The property by which metals can be made into thin sheets is called malleable property. Malleability. Okay, next. Assessment type question. First is assessment. Sodium reacts with water, producing a hissing sound. Yes, when you drop a piece of sodium into water, it reacts with water vigorously and produces some sound like a hissing sound. See the reason? Sodium reacts with water and produces hydrogen gas. Yes, sodium produces hydrogen gas on reaction with water. That is why that hissing sound will be produced. Yes, both are correct, and R is the correct reservoir for production of that sound. So A is correct answer. Okay, when you see the reaction, sodium on reaction with water, you can write equation like this. Water, it reacts vigorously to form sodium hydroxide and hydrogen gas. So this hydrogen gas is produced vigorously with a hissing sound. So for this sound production, this is the correct reason. Okay, next one. When soft iron nail is dipped in a strong solution of copper sulfate, a greenish black solution is formed. Yes, it is correct. Why? Because iron replaces copper from copper sulfate solution and it forms a iron sulfate solution. So iron sulfate is green color solution, whereas the copper sulfate is blue color solution. Okay, if you take the blue colored copper sulfate solution and if you dip a iron nail into that, the iron immediately starts reacting with copper sulfate and it replaces copper from it and forms iron sulfate, which is greenish color solution. See the reason the same they have given. So both are correct statements and reason is the correct explanation for A. It is answer. Okay, next. Analytical type questions. The correct decreasing order of the reactivity of different metals. See, some metals are given here and asking to find out the correct decreasing order of reactivity. We know potassium is highly reactive metal, and then next sodium, and next calcium. So potassium, sodium, calcium, that's the order. See, in the first one, before calcium they have given magnesium. So this is incorrect order. So next to sodium there should be potassium. Sorry, magnesium. Sorry, calcium. Potassium, sodium, and calcium should be. So if it is magnesium, this will be incorrect. No, calcium, magnesium. After the magnesium, zinc and aluminum are there. Aluminum is more reactive than zinc. So here it is misordered. Now it will be correct order. Potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminum, and zinc. This is a decreasing order of reactivity of these metals. Next, metals are good conductors of electricity because. Yes, we said metals are good conductors of heat and electricity. Why these metals are good conductors of electricity? Because they have free electrons in their outermost shells. Metals have free electrons in their outermost shells. These free electrons are resulting in the conduction nature of metals. They have free electrons. Next, see the equation. So they have given some variables, and we have to find out those variables. What might be those? Please or now see x plus water gives y plus z. X plus sulfur gives R. Y is the magnetic oxide of iron. The magnetic oxide of iron is Fe2O3. What is this? Y. So Y should be Fe2O3. And R is a grey sulfide. So Fe2O3. So it should be Fe2O3. If it is to be Fe2O3, which metal to be taken here to reaction with water? It should be iron. So X is iron, Y is Fe2O3. So as we have taken here X as iron, if you take iron on reaction with sulfur, it forms iron sulfide, FeS. So X is iron, where it is all options it is given iron only, and Y is Fe2O3. So it is not wrong, it is wrong, this is also wrong. So these two statements are wrong. Now let us compare these two. Y is Fe2O3 is given in these two, A and E. Now Z. What? Okay, here iron on reaction with the water it is forming Fe2O3. Along with Fe2O3, this hydrogen also will be emitted out. So Z is a hydrogen gas. See here it is hydrogen gas here. So it is given wrong. So this also will be wrong answer. Now this will be the correct option. Let us check once. Iron on reaction with water forming iron oxide and hydrogen. Again the same iron, if it reacts with the sulfur, it forms iron sulfide. So it is the correct answer. Okay. Thank you for watching our video. Please subscribe our YouTube channel AIMS Today for latest updates and recorded videos. Thank you.